Order the Board of Directors meeting for January 19th, 2023. And this meeting is being streamed live on the Central Oregon Coast YouTube channel. If anyone has public comments or questions, they can comment on the live stream. The questions will be relayed to the board members and answered at the end of the meeting. We have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we have a roll call, please?
Rita Eckerman,
Here.
John McCullough,
Here.
Ray Woodruff,
Present.
Kevin Battles.
Here.
Zach is running a little bit late, but he will be here.
Okay. A quorum is present.
Okay, so we have the approval of the minutes, and these would be the minutes from November 17th, 2022. If everyone had a chance to review them. Any questions, comments, additions? I hear a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second motion.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Citizen participation. Well, it doesn't look like we currently have anyone to participate. Any noise online? Okay.
No.
Well, we'll have another opportunity at the end of the meeting. Staff presentations.
Okay, so I've got two of the response logs. I got where we ended last year and then where we are so far this year. So for last year, the totals we had were 118 fire calls, 657 EMS calls, 70 vehicle crashes, 21 water rescue calls, 103 lift assists, and 33 other assists for a total of 1,002 calls for the year. About 100 calls.
Empty gun.
Considering that we're not running any COVID calls, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So far this year, 6 fires, 30 EMS calls, 2 crashes, 1 water rescue, 4 other assists, and 1 other assist. Sitting at 44 so far this year. So,
Starting out with a bang, aren't we?
a little low, but still busy. And I don't know that that's counting the calls we had today or not. Is that counting today's calls on there?
Yeah, well,
Well, we had a couple of medicals and a structure fire today, so
Today's
there's another fire, a couple more medicals.
Yeah.
Yes, I included today.
Okay.
Thank you for doing that.
Maintenance.
Last time we were here, we had some issues with engines and tenders and so on. We're still working through a couple things, but for the most part, we got all the valves fixed. We got all that stuff fixed, and the plumbing parts that I showed you guys last in November, those things have been replaced. So February 8th, those engines will go back for a retest. It won't, by theory, cost us any money because it's within the 90 days, but it's no good depending on what it is. So. But other than that, we're starting to get back into a level, and hopefully I'm pulling my hair out. So
Yeah.
that's it for
Okay.
me. Next,
My turn.
your turn.
So I've been pretty much working on banquet stuff, so hopefully everybody will be there on Saturday, and I'll have a program printed out in there, but I'll actually email one out to everybody so you can kind of see the timeline of events and stuff like that. So we've got raffle prizes, so everybody will get raffle tickets when they come in, and we'll have our awards and good food. The Moose is catering our dinner, prime rib dinner. So I'll be going down tomorrow with them, and other than that, I haven't really had much else other than working with Brett with audit stuff, so.
Okay, volunteer report.
I guess that would be me again. So what did we do in December? We did Operation Santa, we did the open house, And I figured we had about, I took pictures of 98 kids. Not all the kids got their pictures taken. So I think we had it figured out at right around 200 people with all the adults. But it was nice because we had, the school was there. And then we also had people from Beachcombers and the Lutheran Church was there. So it gave them a bunch of stuff to do. And people actually stuck around and just did stuff. And so it was actually a really nice event. Bingo, we ended up having to cancel for this month because we just had too much stuff going on to prepare for it. So we will start that back up again next month.
February 17th.
And we have,
Oh, and we did reach a goal to where we do have enough just to fund one scholarship program, so we're hopefully our next association meeting, we'll get some details on how we're gonna do the scholarship, and it's enough money to pay for one EMT to go through EMT, so, yeah, hopefully we'll get some nailed down. We're gonna probably work with Sue Bennett, because she does the Beachcombers scholarships, and kind of come up with a program that we can do with the school.
she said she'd give us pointers.
Yeah, give us pointers on how to deal with it, so.
Very cool. Okay, union report. Okay. Finance report.
At the end of the year, December 31st, the district had $961,675 on account, which is nice. Levy funds we've accrued through the end of December, $855,440, and that's just for the regular levy, not including the equipment levy. And so we're at 97.41%. So we should exceed it. I would think 15 to 20,000 per year, maybe. Hopefully. Prior levy funds, 13,536.40. So we've actually exceeded our budget by 4.13%. We haven't had any surplus property sales as yet. Personnel services, 470,000. 569, and we budgeted 685,000, 329, so we're above the year, but we anticipate. Dispatch services, 6,411, 16, 6 months. That seems a little low.
Yeah, that's
Maybe it'll catch up later.
Depends on the
Far
911
below
tax.
budget. Pardon me?
It depends on the 911 tax, what comes in from the 911
Yeah,
tax.
we're far below what we anticipated at this point. Office supplies, a little bit, 6,157, and we budgeted 8,000, so we're catching up to that. Building maintenance, 8,427, so we got a ways to go. 10,674 for fuel, so we're at 63%. Then the last one, engine ambulance equipment, we've only booked $4,280, so we're still $49,720. Other than that, looks like we're on target, so
Good.
overall.
Okay. Can I get a motion to accept the financial report and approve the bills? Do you have any questions?
The motion to approve the budget and pay the bills. Second.
Kevin, do you have any?
No, sorry, I just didn't look at it before the meeting, so I'm just looking over quickly at the things I normally look over to see if I have any questions.
We should correct our personnel services line, Brett.
Do what?
We should correct the personnel services line to reflect the changes for the contract, so that next time it doesn't look so off.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
No, it looks fine. Yeah, I'm good.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the report and approve paying the bills. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Have we gotten any correspondence?
Just Christmas cards.
Well, thank goodness we don't get copies of all those. Okay, old business. Oregon Growth Savings Resolution.
Yeah, so you've got the forms there, so we have to adopt the resolution for us to be able to start contributing to growth savings plan. It doesn't replace our current 457, it's just a secondary option. So all of our personnel will be able to choose whether to do the 457 that's already in existence or contribute to the growth savings plan, one or the other. It doesn't subtract.
Okay.
And so the one that's considered the resolution by that program is the one that's titled 457 Deferred Compensation Program Administrative Services Agreement. That's what they call a resolution.
Well,
So
what
we
about
don't have
the,
one of our regular resolutions?
yeah, but this is a resolution for inclusion under the State of Oregon Deferred Compensation Plan?
They had that too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm wrong. That's correct.
Okay.
I had the wrong one.
Okay. So this is a resolution for inclusion under the State of Oregon Deferred Compensation Plan, local government program. This is resolution number 2023-0-01. The Board of Directors of the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District, pursuant to the provisions of Oregon Revised Statutes ORS 243.474, which provides in part that, quote, a local government that establishes a deferred compensation plan may invest all or part of the plan's assets through the Deferred Compensation Investment Program established by the Oregon Investment Council, OIC, under ORS 243.421, quote. Hereby determines to be included in the State of Oregon Deferred Compensation Investment Program, also known as the Oregon Growth Savings Plan, established by the OIC under ORS 243.421 and administered by the Public Employees Retirement Board according to ORS 243.435 for its eligible personnel. Be it further resolved that the proper officers are herewith authorized and directed to take all actions and make such reductions and submit such deferrals as are required by the Public Employees Retirement Board of the State of Oregon pursuant to ORS 243.478, parens 1, and be it further resolved that employer agrees to be bound by the terms and conditions of the contract between the state, its investment providers, and record-keeping company, and the plan document is identified in ORS 243.401 and 243.507, and TPA services as amended from time to time. Specifically, without limitation, employer agrees to appoint its governing body as trustee of its plan as required by Section 457G of the Internal Revenue Code, IRC, 26 USC 457G2. That's a mouthful. The employer certifies it is an eligible employer under IRC Section 457E1 and has received a copy of the plan document and TPA services. Be it further resolved that employer shall submit a certified copy of this resolution and notification memo to the State of Oregon Public Employees Retirement System first as the plan administrator. Be it further resolved that the governing body and employer recognize the PERS Board's responsibility for maintaining the integrity of the plan, hereby agree to cooperate fully with the plan administrator in accordance with procedures established by PERS, including without limitation in processing requests for withdrawal in case of an unforeseeable emergency, as defined in IRC Section 457B5 and Treasury Regulations 1.457-2H4 and 5. Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve Resolution 2023-01 as read?
What exactly does that mean? Like fully? I mean, in like a,
It basically means that we are participating in the deferred compensation plan,
Okay.
and it will be administered by PERS.
Oh, okay.
Employer's contribution is 10% on,
What was that, Brett?
the employer's contribution is 10% on the, it's 10% of the employee's contribution. The employer pays that
Yeah.
per the agreement for the unionized employees.
And that's what we agreed on the union is to do that for savings comp, right? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution as read.
Is there a second?
So,
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2023-01. All those in favor?
Aye.
No,
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I think,
opposed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ray, you,
I don't think we've had time to look at it.
this was part of the packet, wasn't it?
last month, or, well, November. We didn't have a meeting in December.
Yeah.
I don't think we had a discussion.
So, okay, so,
well, I think the discussion originally happened when we were discussing the union contract. That was part of the union contract, we agreed to pay 10% of the deferred compensation savings.
That's fine, that's what it should have been.
That's what it is, isn't it? We just have to adopt it as a
We're not
resolution.
voting on the contract at this point, that's what I'm saying. If it was an amendment, it should have been voted at the time. That's what I'm saying. I voted no.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember, did we, was this the meeting that you weren't here at, that we were talking about it, or?
It doesn't make any difference, you have it passed.
Yeah, we have it passed.
Yeah, okay. All right. New business.
I don't have any. My report's got a couple of things that might generate new business, but I don't have any right now.
Okay, well, then let's go on to your chief's report.
Okay, so McKinsey, we submitted the grant on time. I drove it over there myself, delivered it to them. So at this point, we're in a holding pattern. Typically, we see results in the end of February. The way that grants have been going lately, I don't want to say that that's going to happen, but that's typically when we see the results. So when we get down here later to another line item here, I'll talk about the date for that. In terms of grants, we're still pursuing BRIC. BRIC is for hazard mitigation, so that'll be for like the generator for the building, undergrounding power lines around the building. They won't contribute to the building upgrade and seismic. It'll be reducing hazards that are associated with the facility. Seismic's been submitted, FEMA, so our AFG for 21 is still pending. They still haven't given us anything on that. And then they opened on the 6th, they opened the AFG for 22. So I'm now completing a AFG grant application for a Type 1 engine. So I'll submit that. I was really hoping that we'll hear about our 21 grant prior to the deadline of the 22, because then I could resubmit for a tender again if we don't get it.
Right.
But at this point, I'm prepping to do an engine just in case we don't hear anything. So OSFM engine program is they're still working on their process. I did complete a supplemental application. I don't know if that's a good sign or not. I don't really know what that means, but they did ask for more information.
Okay.
So I did complete that. FEP still has us on their list, but they don't. We asked for a Type 3 wildland engine, and they don't have any available, so we won't get anything until they have them available. And then the OSFM staffing grant is still up in the air too. They're still working on that, and I don't have a deadline for that either. So still got some stuff pending. I'm also currently in the middle of a Ford Family Foundation grant, and that's asking for the remaining balance of upgrading this facility beyond the seismic costs. They might give the whole thing, they might only give partial. Anything is great.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hopefully have that done. McKinsey's been helping me with that because there's some architectural stuff that they've been asking for in there. But basically, it's a building communities grant, and under the building communities, they have a category specifically for fire halls. So that's what I'm filing it out. So it's quite extensive. Kind of feels like another FEMA grant, but it's all good information, and so hopefully that'll be done and on its way next Friday. They don't have a window like FEMA does, where it's an opening and a closing. It's just kind of open, and they've got so many days. I think it's about 60 days. They anticipate that you might hear something back depending on the grant. So,
Wow, that's a quick turnaround.
yeah, it could change things for us, especially if they were to give us the whole amount. It means that we wouldn't have to seek taxpayers anything for the building. We'd only be looking
Well,
at
in
trucks.
anything that we get.
Yeah. Automatic aid agreement. So this is one of the ones that I'm kind of looking for some direction here. So the three chiefs went through and updated the automatic aid agreement. It hadn't been updated since 2011. We signed it, the Yachats fire chief signed it, and their board signed it, and then it went up to Sail Rock, and it's been sitting there for almost 3 months now. There hasn't been any communication other than when they were supposed to sign it. He said he wanted more time to think about it, and then there hasn't been anything ever since. So kind of looking at what do we want to do? Do we want to just leave this in limbo until they decide they want to do something with it? Does the board want to elect a spokesperson on behalf of the board to contact their board and ask, what's their plan? Do they intend to sign it? What's the deal? Or do we want to just suspend auto aid until it's signed? Because we don't have a current agreement.
Well,
I think we should make a good faith effort
Well,
at one point to.
explain the last sentence, would you?
The last sentence?
The last sentence in your statement about the aid. I mean, once final training will be conducted to ensure all personnel will be aware of the change of the agreement. What are
Yeah.
you saying?
So in the agreement, in the original agreement, all 3 districts went to everything automatically. In the new agreement, 2 agencies go directly to the call. The 3rd agency, depending on the location of the call, goes for county coverage, for South County coverage, and can be pulled to the scene if more resources are needed. That's the change that everybody needs to train on, is that we're not used to that. We're used to everybody just pile driving right to the scene and not really having any consideration for coverage for other calls. And with all our call volumes going up, we have to spend more time looking at coverage for other calls. We can't just all go.
I had a thought over the weekend, how does the amount of calls to Yachats compare to what goes up to Seal Rock?
I think Yachats has a higher call volume. I don't know their numbers myself off the top of my head.
Okay.
But based off of what I hear on the radio, I feel like theirs is a higher call volume.
The second question I would ask is, are you going to are you going to treat their people differently
In what
out of
way?
call?
The Yachats people?
No,
The Sail Rock people?
Seal Rock people.
No. Why would we treat them differently?
I'm asking, I'm just so, what is the change?
The change is how we respond to calls.
Okay.
It doesn't put all 3 resources straight to the call.
Okay,
The only change that we changed in the auto aid that Will wanted changed, so we changed it to what he asked for, was there was a statement about firefighters who are going to do entry operations meeting the DPSST or equivalent standards, which is the same terminology that's in the mutual aid agreement for the county.
right,
So,
okay,
and we did change it to what he wanted.
thank you.
The
total outcome may not change whether we elect to just not move forward with Still Rock, or if we do pursue to try to see what their interest is. I think we should still make one last final effort with the spokesperson, see where they're at. If they want to continue, great. If they don't, that's fine too. But I think a good faith effort should be made.
Have you reached back out to Will to be like, yeah, where are you guys at on this? Like,
I can if you want me to. The last time we talked was when he told me he wanted more time. So I've given him more time. At this point, I'm asking you if you want me to do it. Do you want to reach out to their board and talk to them at a board level? What do you want to do?
I would say we can elect a spokesperson to talk to them in a situation where I think you should reach out to him. And if he's just like, my board isn't doing anything and my hands are tied, and it's very much above his head is kind of the response you get, then maybe we need to kind of go above his head and elect somebody to say, hey, you know, we're sending a letter. We can even just send a letter to the president and be like, you know, it doesn't have to be anything serious. Be like, hey, where you guys at on this?
Sure.
You know, if he's just like, no, I don't know. You know, then we need to probably just at least send a letter to their board to be like, hey, let's go. And if we could talk to Frankie and see if, you know, their board would be willing to sign on that same letter and be like, hey, let's go, let's move this along. I think that would probably be the easiest
Yep.
way to approach it.
Yeah,
Personally, anybody
I can do that.
agree or disagree? Anybody agree or disagree?
Well, you know, if my memory serves me correctly, there was a motion approved by this board 3 months ago that 2 board members would approach their board. That didn't happen. You did.
Not on this, I think we,
No, there was a motion here that 2 people would go, be John and I. Never happened.
I thought we got a letter back from them saying they didn't really want to meet about it, and that's why we just never pursued it.
We got an email back from the chief, because I reached out to the chief as directed
Yeah,
to get the 2 to meet.
yeah,
And the chief came back and said they don't want to meet.
yeah, they came back and said they didn't want to meet.
That is the way he told me.
That's what the letter that he gave to us at, I think, the October, November meeting, I think it was the November meeting, that we got a letter from them, we read the email that said they are not interested in pursuing any more, like, what they
The
agree.
IGA.
They're not interested
I
in
don't think
approaching
we
the
gotta
IGA at this
take
point.
massage their feelings either.
Gotcha.
That's a big word, I know, but I don't know that we have.
Yeah,
I mean, we're kind of set on the pattern we're on, that's all I'm saying.
yeah.
And when you make this decision, it's kind of final.
No, I agree. Yeah, if we cut them off, there's no going back.
I don't think we ever said cut, did I say cut them off? No. I said that all we need to do is send a letter urging them to take action on signing the,
Mutual aid agreement.
mutual aid agreement, or not the mutual aid agreement, or the
Just,
auto aid agreement.
Yeah.
just kind of for clarification, are you having conversations with board members or the
No.
fire chief at Steel Rock?
No.
Didn't you just say he told you that?
I said he told me that, and that was before I was a board member.
So you're talking about before
I know
this
better than that.
two committee members agreement even came up then?
I'm confused on where we are.
I think, my opinion is, it's a kind of a combative situation. I think we have to get along with them.
We get along, we fought a fire with them
Well,
today.
I don't know. It's like we're trying to harm them.
How?
That I don't know. That's why I
How
asked.
how is adhering to and following training and
I know what your opinion is,
standards
Chief. I just don't agree. with you.
harming somebody?
I just don't agree with you.
There's 200 names a year that are suggesting that it's not harming
I
somebody
know the numbers.
when we don't kill those firefighters.
But I think, I just don't think that we've exhausted. But that's only my opinion. We're gonna have a vote here.
I think we're talking about two different things.
We're
though.
gonna have a vote here, so
I
No, no.
think that we have reached out to them multiple times, extending the olive branch, and it keeps getting slapped away because of something that happened, from what I understand, back when the ambulance was in service. So I
So-
don't understand.
So, hold on. Are you talking about the mutual aid agreement between us and Seal Rock?
I understand.
Or are you talking about, or I'm asking, are you talking about the auto aid agreement between us, Yahats, and Seal Rock?
I think you have to vote how you think,
Yeah,
okay? You have an opinion. I don't know what it's based on, but you have it,
yeah.
okay?
I'm confused. I don't know what I'm voting on at this point, to be honest with you. I think we're talking about the auto.
Okay, I
You know,
think,
my opinion of this is they didn't want to do anything with IGA. They didn't want, and then the auto aid was the only thing that they wanted to deal with. We did vote on, like you said, that prior to any of this, was that, hey, we'll send 2 representatives and our chief up to talk to 2 of their representatives and their chief. They sent a letter to us stating that they did not want to meet. Fine.
I think there was a move
Chief,
in
hang on,
between.
the next step was, they all got together, they revamped the auto aid. We've signed it. Yahats has signed it. Their chief at Seal Rock said, hey, I want these words changed. That got consensus. Those words were changed. It was resubmitted to them for signature. It's been 3 months. They haven't signed it. And it's like, it's like if you don't want to buy my insurance, fine. I'm not going to chase you down the road. They're making it very clear that they don't want to sign that document. I think the question that was put on the table is, do we want to reach out once more to them? And I see the perception of the positiveness of doing that. But I also say that for how many months, at what point we listen to our financials all the time, at what point are we going to continue giving that level of service when we don't know that we're going to get it back from the other side? Within the provisions that they all supposedly agreed to when they sat down and rewrote it. So I'm at a point now where it's like, if you don't want to play, that's fine, but then they will live those consequences. And that shouldn't be on us. And that doesn't make us bad neighbors. We've done everything we can do.
well, and I think that, at this point, it's certainly not going to hurt to have us find out from them. I mean, it could just be that they're either A, confused, or B, they've forgotten it, or C, they don't want to do it. We should probably find that out.
And I think that can be done as simple as.
And I think
cheap.
that can be done as simply as, Chief Mason reaching out to their chief, asking them, first of all, has the board even discussed it? I haven't seen their agenda, so I don't know if it's even been on their agenda for discussion, or where it's at, but at least, inquiring will bring it up again and maybe get some motion, some momentum. So, I believe that that's what we're talking about right now, is just giving him direction to contact their chief and find out where it's at.
Put it in a motion, and so that it can get captured in the minutes, so this doesn't turn up in 3 months, it's a different perception.
Right.
So yeah, I can make a motion to stick it, but I want to say something. I'm all for opening up more discussion for the IGA if they're willing to have it and have you guys talk to them. I have no problem with that, right? But I think what we're talking about right now is the automatic aid agreement that's already been kind of drawn up, and everybody's, even they, I think, have come to a consensus agreement to the idea, because they said in their letter they want this. I don't understand why they're now not saying it. It could literally just be like, oh, well, shoot, fell off our radar. So, I think voting, it's a pretty simple motion. I'll make a motion that we direct Jamie Mason to send off an email asking where we are at this point on the auto aid agreement.
And I would second that motion.
All right, so it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
Motion carries.
All right, so continuing on, in terms of the building purchase, we're still just waiting on signing the title. I'm just waiting for Dan to tell me when, so.
I guess he hasn't gotten the paperwork back
Yep.
yet.
And then the other one that could generate some new business is, I put in here that we should probably do another board goal setting session for the year of 2023. What do we want to accomplish this year?
Right.
I'm thinking though, we should probably hold that after February, because if the seismic comes through, that might be a big play on that. So-
Yeah. Well, if we don't do it in February, we should probably do it in March, because you're gonna want that goal setting ahead of
Yeah,
coming up with your numbers for the budget.
yeah, I say do it in March no matter what, but at
Right.
least hold through February to see if they get a result to us by the end of February.
Yeah.
So, maybe early March.
Do you guys feel? So do we want to do this on, we'll probably do this as a separate meeting, I would think, to expedite
Yeah,
things.
last time we did it was on a Thursday night, but it was a different Thursday
And
night.
a different Thursday night,
And
yeah.
just bring goals or things that you'd like to see. Last time, nobody really had anything, and I had a list, and so everybody went through the list and picked what they wanted out of the list, so. I'd like to hear what the board wants to.
Yeah, March 3rd, looks good to me.
The third?
Yeah.
Third or Friday?
Oh, sorry, March 2nd, pardon my language.
Second's fine. What do we have?
Does that work with everyone else's schedules?
Work for me, so.
Okay.
As long as I have leverage or something.
Well, we can go ahead and at least tentatively set it for March 2nd, and, we have another meeting before then, so if anything comes up between now and then, we can always bring it back up again and talk about it.
5:30?
Yep. Pizza?
We will,
I'm writing it down.
you got that right now? All right, pizza.
I'll ask at the next meeting what kind.
And that's pretty much it. Action items haven't changed, and they won't change until we're closer to the end of the budget session. And budget season for me starts in March, so yeah. That's all I got. Questions?
Okay, well, I do have one item for the president's report, and that is just an observation that we do have an election coming up in May, and we will have all 5 board positions on that ballot. There will be 2 4-year positions and 3 2-year positions. So we're all up for re-election. The form that you need to fill out is the SEL 190. You can go on the Oregon.gov, or if you want, so I'm sure we could have staff, send us copies if we let them know that we want copies. The first day for filing is the 4th of February. And I think that the last date is sometime in March. I don't know the exact date, but it's actually on the board.
I think I just went to the county building.
Huh?
I think I just went to the county building. Did that change?
Yeah, they may, no, and they do need to be submitted to the county.
Yeah.
I believe there is a filing fee of $10 or something with the county.
Minimal.
And then if you want to be in the voter's pamphlet with any kind of a statement, of course, course, that's separate. I
Take a
think
picture.
I think it's like, $50 or whatever, so. But I just figured it was, before the deadline for submission was a good time to bring it up and talk about it, so. And that's all I have. Do we have anything for the good of the order?
Just the local government that we were talking about earlier. Do you guys want to,
Comments?
Oh, yeah, we got we didn't really talk about it, we were gonna bring it up under good of the order.
yeah, that's what I'm doing,
Okay,
is do you want to go over this and then you can, I don't think they put a date they want this necessarily by.
yeah, no, it doesn't look like
It says last time we purchased it in April, so, you could, so we just got this, so we put it in your packets. You could just review it. We don't have to do anything with it tonight if we don't
Right.
want to. Basically, it's the updated contracting rules for 2022. Local law, government law group does a packet that has the explanatory letter, the rules, the resolution, and the findings that they put all together for you. It's pre-worked together for $185, and then all we have to do is read it at a board meeting, sign it, and then we adopt the rules for 2022. That's what it is. So,
Yeah, but it's not a, doesn't have an expiration date on it, so at this point, we can just put it in our packet next month for action. It's a whole $185. I think we can probably afford it just to be up to date and current with the rules, but we can discuss it.
yeah, and it's also presented or prepared for by our law group, which,
Right.
so we don't have to send it back and forth to legal.
Yeah.
Kind of cuts the timing down.
That's probably one of the more inexpensive things we can get from the lawyers. Okay, so have we got any comments from the, okay.
No, the only comments we're getting are on our share of the fire this morning. So, people talking about it. It'll be pretty fire, so.
Okay,
But yeah, as far as the meeting goes, no questions, nothing like that.
okay.
The only other thing I was gonna add was Chief and I will be having our first meeting with Dan on Monday, 23rd.
I think the 23rd is Tuesday.
Tuesday, whatever the 23rd is, to start strategizing our meeting with Representative.
No, it is Monday.
Oh, and it's all the paperwork in the files of the county for the purchase of this building?
We've done the resolutions, those have been put in place, and as far as I'm been told, all that's left is the title signing, and then that gets filed.
So what do we need to do to make sure that happens?
Setting up an appointment with Western Title to go in and sign it.
All right,
And I've just been on hold waiting. Dan said he would set the appointment up, so I've just been waiting for him to tell me when it is.
Yeah, you want to bug him a little bit on that, so.
I'll do it again.
Yeah, bug him and just see if we can make sure we get a date set on that and get that signed and done, so.
Yeah, I'll ask him again.
Make sure we don't have any loose ends hanging out.